Hi there, welcome to ARPAS-UK. We're the UK Drone Association. My name is 𝗕𝗵𝘆𝗆 and my colleague here today is Elena Major. I'm involved in membership and engagement, and Elena is the head of membership and operations at the association. So back in June of this year, we attended GeoBusiness 2025. And as well as that, Elena actually gave a presentation at one of the speaker stands. And we thought it'd be nice if we could have it available in digital format on our YouTube and our website. And yeah, Elena, I'll hand over now.
Thank you, 𝗕𝗵𝘆, that's really kind. So the presentation is called Beyond the Horizon, Drones Elevating Geospatial Earth Observation. And as 𝗕𝗵𝘆 mentioned, it's a talk I gave at GeoBusiness this year. Essentially, it's going to cover the pain points that people encounter when using drones, and we'll look at a few case studies too of how drones are used within the geospatial world. So today, as you can see on the screen, 22 billion and 45 billion. What do the figures refer to? They come from PwC's Skies Without Limits version 2 report they created recently. The 22 billion refers to cost savings that UK businesses can make by 2030, and the 45 billion is the overall contribution to the UK economy. That's 1.6% of GDP. How that translates is also interesting. There will be a positive impact to jobs by 650,000, with 2.4 million tonnes of carbon emissions saved. So if your company has ESG goals, this isn't just a box ticking exercise. Drones are a tangible route to cost reduction, decarbonisation and productivity gains. My job today is simple: to get you to adopt drone technology, or to at least start thinking about it. Now that might mean bringing it in-house, and many ARPAS-UK members aren't drone companies per se. They're organisations that use drones as part of their workflow. Alternatively, you could contract a skilled independent operator. There's a mature market of professionals who can plug straight into your projects, offering bespoke drone services to meet your needs. The key message: you don't need to be a drone expert, but you do need to start thinking about where they fit into your current or future workflows. ARPAS-UK is the collective voice for the UK drone industry. We consult and advise on regulation, working closely with the CAA, DFT and other bodies to shape a fair and forward-thinking regulatory landscape. We encourage innovation, supporting members to push the boundaries of what drones can do, from infrastructure inspection to environmental monitoring. And crucially, we drive and inspire market adoption, which is exactly why I'm here today. My role today is part of that mission to demystify drone technology, show you where it's already delivering value, and help you take the next step, whether that's in-house or through expert contractors. Who am I? I'm Elena. I'm head of ARPAS-UK membership and operations, and I've been here since 2017. I'm also studying for a master's in uncrewed systems, covering aerial, ground, marine and space uncrewed systems. Do you remember when Steve Jobs introduced the iPad? Most of us thought, what on earth do I need that for? Now look at us. We rely on them every day. And drones are at a similar tipping point. Many organisations don't yet realise they should be using them. And that's not because the technology isn't ready, but because the mindset hasn't yet caught up. And today is about helping to close that gap. So here's where we're going next. We've done the intro. I'll quickly run through why drones are so effective and the real advantages, and we'll look at a few real-world case studies. So why use drones? They're highly accurate, even with normal built-in GNSS, combined with using GCPs and or RTK, and easily get down to 3 centimetre accuracy, if not down to millimetre level. They can be rapidly deployed. In changing environments, they can be deployed so quickly, within hours, that makes them crucial and essential within time-critical projects. They can access all areas. Drones can reach areas inaccessible to people or not easily accessible anyway, and some areas that are unsafe become easily accessible. Time and cost efficient. Data can be collected much more quickly, the analysis done more quickly, and the time savings lead directly to cost savings. The savings on labour costs are huge. Drones can do in a few hours what it can take people days to do. In terms of safety, they avoid many HSE hurdles, such as working at height, and they're regulated by the CAA to avoid some of these HSE issues. They're complementary tech, supporting rather than completely replacing traditional methods, and many surveyors are adopting drones into their work. So now we're going to look at a number of case studies provided by our members right across a number of industries. Auto-spray systems focuses predominantly on agricultural drone use, and they help solve a number of problems. So British farming faces a number of major crop issues, such as damage from stem flea beetle, poor weather, uneven plant density, and the risk of yield loss. And the solution was by using drones to inspect crop health using multispectral drones that allowed for targeted seeding, reseeding patchy areas without damaging healthy crops, unlike tractors which can do so. The benefits mean there's no crop damage from the machinery, better seed spread consistency, you're not wasting money on seeding over healthy crop due to inspections, and the increased efficiency and work rate is definitely there. The improved yields, thanks to a more even crop coverage, are ultimately what is beneficial and affects the farmer's bottom line. Auto spray and Severn Trent water. Let me tell you about a fantastic example from auto spray systems run by Andy Sprayson, where drones were used for precision agriculture with real environmental impact. They worked on a field next to Severn Trent groundwater pumping station, a site where nitrogen and phosphate run off from conventional farming and can threaten water quality. To mitigate against this, they planted a cover crop designed to trap those nutrients before they could leach into the water table. And now here's where it gets really interesting. Before planting, the nitrogen reading in the soil was 61.5 kilograms per hectare. After using the drone to plant a cover crop, the reading, confirmed by Severn Trent's own sampling, dropped to zero. Zero. No measurable nitrogen left to run into the groundwater. This wasn't just a win for the environment, it delivered right across the board. The cover crop wasn't wasted, it was later grazed, giving the farmer a secondary income. Because the nitrogen was retained, the farmer needed less fertiliser in the next planting cycle. Because Severn Trent avoided the cost of removing nitrogen from the water supply, savings were made which ultimately will benefit the general public. So why use a drone instead of a tractor? Firstly, drones don't compact the soil like heavy machinery does. That means better soil structure and long-term field health. As it was a wet area access, by traditional ground-based methods, it would have been challenging. And secondly, the drone enabled precise, targeted planting in areas that needed intervention, quickly and efficiently. Peatland restoration by seed artists. Seed artists are helping to restore the ecosystem in peatlands at the moment. It's an essential part of what they're doing. The traditional methods of re-wetting and reseeding are incredibly labour intensive and challenging, not only due to the remote environment, but also to how waterlogged they are. The Drone Repeat project is one that drones are reseeding with 𝗕𝗏𝘆liche, well suited to ecological restoration, and this encourages growth of commercially viable crops, soft berries and sphagnum moss, and creates economic incentives for promoting sustainable land use. It turns degraded bogland into productive areas with economic benefits for landowners, and the re-wetting and reseeding restores peatland's ability to act as a carbon sink. That's that carbon emissions section again that keeps coming through. Auto spray and seed artists 𝗵𝗵𝗆. So 𝗵𝗵𝗆, the drone industry has a wonderful selection of acronyms, but 𝗵𝗵𝗆 refers to Beyond Visual Line of Sight. It extends the pilot's direct visual range, and this capability is going to be crucial for large-scale agricultural monitoring and interventions. Atypical environment, AAE, is an area that is where it's very improbable that you'll find another aeroplane there. With operational efficiency with 𝗵𝗵𝗆, drones can cover expansive agricultural fields without the need for constant repositioning by the operator, leading to reduced labour costs and savings over time. Access to challenging areas. Drones can now reach areas that are difficult or dangerous for humans to reach, such as wetlands, steep terrains, and this ensures a comprehensive field analysis. Data collection and analysis. Extended flight ranges facilitate the collection of more extensive data sets, enhancing the accuracy of crop health assessments and resource management. The regulatory milestone that seed artists have come across by using 𝗵𝗵𝗆 marks a significant milestone in the UK and sets a precedent for future drone operations in agriculture and other sectors. With future implications that the adoption of 𝗵𝗵𝗆 operations is expected to accelerate the integration of drones into routine agricultural practices, promoting precision farming and sustainable agriculture. Flood management for the Environment Agency. The UK faces significant flooding. In 2019-2020, £333 million of notable damage was incurred by flooding. The Environment Agency employs a 24/7 drone response service, which is outsourced. Drones were able to be deployed within a few hours to assess flood situations, and the benefits of this are that it provides enhanced decision-making, giving real-time insights, improved efficiency and effectiveness of responses, the improved emergency management with live drone footage, monitoring temporary barriers like Iron Bridge. And obviously for the future, it will help enormously with the planning. Drone data is essential in planning for the future with modelling and AI, and is expected to optimise future response strategies. In this case study with Bridgeway Aerial Consulting, an updated aerial survey was needed to support habitat restoration monitoring at 𝗕𝗏 Down, a grazing site undergoing grassland recovery. A 2020 orthomosaic topographical map served as the before dataset, and a new data capture was required to provide a clear after comparison for assessing ecological progress. Bridgeway captured high-resolution photogrammetry data using terrain follow to ensure consistent GSD across the site. A survey control network was installed on foot throughout the challenging terrain for precise georeferencing, and 2D orthomosaic and DSM outputs were processed in-house before use in restoration analysis. The visual comparison. The data aligned perfectly with the 2020 baseline and offered significantly improved GSD, enabling clear visual tracking of habitat changes over time. High accuracy. Manually placed and measured ground control ensured strong geospatial accuracy across complex terrain for reliable environmental analysis. Minimal disturbance. UAV data capture avoided disruptive physical site intrusion, reducing disturbance to livestock and protecting sensitive restoration areas. And the GIS integration. Outputs were delivered in ready-to-use GIS formats, streamlining integration into mapping and reporting tools. Forestry England. Essentially, the main use, as in for all these use cases, is data. The Forestry England use them for a number of reasons, including stocking density assessments. Traditionally, a small area was mapped by a team of people on foot, counting trees manually. However, flying an area with a drone produces much more accurate data, and AI is being trained to count different types of tree, meaning that this will be increasingly accurate. When surveying and mapping new areas of woodland creation, a drone flight can help those on foot or in vehicles as to the best access routes, saving hours of operational time, create a 2D orthomosaic to identify what is already there, and provides baseline mapping for further planning. Forestry England also use drones for wind-blown surveys. Data from a drone flight can be used to assess and calculate fallen trees and those that might pose a danger. The data helps manage harvesting contracts, what is ready to be felled or not, and it keeps staff safe. Post-wildfires, a drone can be flown to assess damage with minimal exposure to danger for the operator, again assessing tree health and monitoring ash dieback, amongst other things. And seasonal flights. Monitoring rhododendron during late autumn winter when deciduous trees have shed their leaves. Rhododendron are notoriously difficult to access. Literally, physically getting through them is hard. And essentially, the overall key message here is that the data from drones is providing extra intelligence. Skyports drone services have recently taken part in Ofwat's 5th Water Breakthrough Challenge as part of a consortium led by Northumbria Water, and also involving Makatu, Newcastle University and Proteus Instruments. They will collect water samples by drone. Traditional water monitoring methods are often labour-intensive and infrequent, but this project will address these limitations by deploying drones equipped with sampling and analysis sensors directly over the water. Collected samples are analysed on site using a lab-in-the-box unit, significantly reducing the time to obtain results from days to mere minutes. The data is then made publicly accessible, empowering communities with timely information about coastal water health. So providing better information on health of water, more real-time data and faster decisions can be made. HexCam and StirlingX were accepted into the Civil Aviation 𝗵𝗄𝘆 Sandbox trial in May 2024. HexCam has been providing aerial survey and mapping services to both Vattenfall and 𝗕𝗏𝘃 & Sons for the Norfolk offshore wind zone project. For the past 3 years, they are carrying out monthly construction progress surveys along the western third of the cable corridor between Necton and the River Wensum at Elsing, and will be extending this work along the rest of the corridor as work progresses over the next 3 to 5 years. In July 2024, they received permissions to be able to fly out to 9 kilometres. This was 𝗵𝗄𝘆, that beyond visual line of sight flying with visual mitigation. Those mitigations include reliable command and control with drone-specific SIMs from BT, etc., visual observers within 2.5 kilometres, pilot-aware FX, electronics conspicuity, high-output strobes to enhance drone visibility, and a 2-pilot handover method, which means they can now cover up to 18 kilometres. This is where beyond the horizon flying is heading. Longer distances, carefully thought through, planned for, mitigated for risk. The benefits: it reduces time spent surveying. The cost of hiring a helicopter or a plane to fly the route is much higher. A drone can do this on a monthly basis for less money. Therefore, the issues are spotted faster and can be rectified faster. So this is going to be the last of the use cases for the time being. Tracks Ecology use drones in a number of different conservational ways. One of the ways is monitoring change year on year with seasonal implications in hard to access areas. For example, mapping seagrass meadows and salt marshes creates access challenges. How do you get to the locations both safely and without disturbing the natural environment you're meant to be mapping? Mapping hogweed while it's flowering. It's only got a 6-week window, so getting there when it's out is vital. Monitoring willow. Their very presence is a positive for the surrounding environment, so it's vital to understand how healthy their growth is. Drones are again cheaper than using helicopters or planes and can be deployed quickly. Ecology was also involved in monitoring seals in conjunction with Aberdeen University. The seal beach used to be next to a road, wonderfully easy access, but the seals themselves then moved further away to sandbanks. By using drones to track them and to monitor them, this means that people are not disturbing the seals. They're flown sufficiently high to not be too loud, but remain accurate. And another use is the cliff top or cliffside monitoring of birds. Again, all really useful use cases that are directly impacting the environment and the UK. So thank you very much for joining us today and listening to the presentation. Drones, as you know, can be used as we've shown actually, can be used in a number of different ways. They are incredibly useful, and we are always really happy to talk to people about what they can and can't do. Please do get in touch with us. We're more than happy to help advise you on what might be suitable for you, or to ensure that you receive the information that you do need to help make a decision on this. We have wonderful members who will help on a number of various forms, whether that's from providing the drone services that you need, through to, if you're going to set up in-house, to provide the insurance, the training, and the drones themselves that you will need. Please do contact us via membership@arpas.uk. The address is there on the screen, I can see. And Annabelle and I would be delighted to talk to you.
Most definitely.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much.